What is going on, everybody? We're back on it. Vinland Saga, Season 2, Episode 10. Last episode, we saw Thorfinn think about Ashlad for the first time. Had some kind of epiphany, seeing all the dead bodies he's killed for various reasons. Ashlad essentially letting him know, like, this isn't what you want. And Thorfinn comes out of all this where he's pretty much vowed, like, he's going to be on his pacifist shit. Essentially how Canute was when we first ran into him. Now, Canute was more scared, and that's why he didn't act with violence. Thorfinn's making it a vow that he will not. Now, I'm curious kind of where that goes. Is it going to be kind of like how his father was, where if you're getting attacked, or somebody that you care to protect is getting attacked, you've got to do something. You don't have to kill them, but you can disarm them, hurt them, but you don't have to kill. Well, I'm curious if he just plan to, like, not draw a sword or raise his fist ever again. Now, we know that won't happen. So I'm curious what the reason will be that will make him act against what he's vowed to do. We'll see. We shall see. Just two dudes out in the woods chopping shit down. I'm also really worried. Einar is like the first friend, like actual friend, not someone that he just goes around and kills people with, not in a war camp, not that I talk to you because we raid villages together. This is his first friend in his life. I don't count his little kid because he doesn't even remember that shit. If something happens to Einar, he might lose it. He might lose it. We'll see. That might be too far down the line. Maybe nothing ever happens to Einar and he lives out his days and they could be BFFs forever. But I don't know, man. Makes me nervous for what it will do to his mental. There'll be free men and within by this time next year. What do they do after that? Think Thorfinn goes with him? Back to his home, or do you think Thorfinn goes home? Do we ever get there, though? I don't know. Do they ever truly get free, or do they kind of get roped into whatever bad thing's gonna happen? I don't know. Because I can't just see them getting their freedom, and they're like, alright, nice to meet you. Einar goes about his way, Thorfinn goes back home, and that's kind of it with their stories. I don't know. I don't know. Could you buy her? Is there any way to make enough to buy her? He says he will go back. Things sound like they're going way too well. I'm still of the belief that the farm is going to end up getting overrun. I think it's going to get raided, and we're going to get roped back into the Canute warrior storyline. I don't know. We'll see though. You're asking a lot. That I don't know if he can do it, but maybe he can inspire somebody. Yeah, that especially in this time period. There might be periods where there's no fighting and wars, but the slave shit is just, that's asking a lot.
ついに最後の一本をやっつけたな。よくやったぞ、二人とも。旦那様、どうだ。この土地は種まきまでに整地できそうか。
That's the plan.
急げば多分。そうか。よし。では少し負けてやろう。種まきが済み次第、お前たち二人は自由の身だ。
Wow. What a great guy. What can you say? I think they're just more shocked. Like, say something before he changes his mind. Okay. Where's he going? He's not gonna return, is he? That seems way too good to be true. I'm going to the thing again. Taking his son with him. I don't think he comes back. I don't know. That doesn't seem... That's... It's hard to answer that question. Because then do you ever truly get... They don't have it bad. They really don't. But like, he's been so good and he's gonna let us go for free. Well, if he truly is that good of a person and he means what he says and like, you know, I'll let you... what benefit is there from the work he labors? As God has given... Okay, that's just not gonna happen. It's like, how do you... I think you just politely tell him, like, I appreciate you. I couldn't imagine being a slave for anybody else. Couldn't imagine myself ever being a slave. But I've got family out there. There's a life I want to see and do. And I appreciate the offer, but I don't have to decline. But if I ever come through this way, or you ever need anything, let me know. And I would just keep it moving. And I would hope that he would just... Like, he wouldn't be upset about it. Or say, like, okay, well, you can't go. You know, you could just go. We'll see. We'll see if any of that even happens. Yo, Canute. Talking to you, man. Talking to you, man. Yeah. I feel very antsy with what's about to happen. I feel like chess pieces are starting to move. It's been very like working on our mental and our current status the first like 9 or so episodes. But now that the master's gonna go, you know, hey, you'll be free by the time you get this soil going by the time I get back. You haven't seen my dad? Tell him this. Taking my... I don't know. Something, it's making me feel uneasy. I feel like they're not going to all get back together. So we'll see. It doesn't even look like Canute anymore. Oof. When they showed him in like episode, what was that, maybe 3 or 4? It's like, okay, that looks like Canute, just, you know, with some muscle on him. I don't know who this piece of shit is. His brother. Is this the brother that was in line for the throne? King. Is this the brother? I still never got confirmation on that. Because Canute's been going conquering lands and shit, so are we calling him king too? I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on here. Is this the same brother that he was concerned about having a succession battle with if his father died? And so that's why him and Ashlad kind of hatched that plan to, you know, take down his father's killer, and you know, I'm taking the throne, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah, so there wouldn't be this crazy succession battle. But then his brother was still named king. So what's Canute been calling himself when he's been going around conquering these lands? I don't know. I was completely lost on that originally, and I'm lost on it now. He's talking about it. We've never ever seen his brother on screen, have we? You know what this little game reminds me of? I don't know if you guys played this in like PE and shit growing up in elementary school. Just like that. Like you have this big ass plank thing. It's like a tennis racket without the racket on, without the handle. And it's like a Velcro. And you would throw Velcro tennis balls back and forth, and you would like catch them. I don't know what that game's called or what that's called. His brother's not even that much older right here. What are we talking, 10 years? And he's sick? Did he sustain injuries, or is it natural causes? He's trying to keep him from getting sick. Because I'm pretty sure we've never seen his brother. Interesting. Better get over there, because it sounds like he's not gonna make it. Uh-oh. Okay, so we've got some built-up PTSD going. No bullshit, I thought that head fell out of his pocket, like he had it in a sack. But that shit would have decayed and been so dust and ash by now, but I was not expecting that. Because his brother's King Harold, King of England, correct? Okay, hold on. Okay, so they're just kings of different territories. Older brother Harold inherited Denmark. The younger brother Canute inherited England. Okay, so they're both... Okay, so they both call themselves kings of different territories, and it's fine. Ah, so they were working in tandem. Okay. There was no bad blood or success. Well, we'll see. Is this another became ill thing again? How did he become ill? Oh shit. Is this him sending somebody in there to get him sick? Or is this just like a natural thing? He's not that old, man. Because even if we call Canute here 20, Harold can't be older than 30, 35. So, but here's the thing, Harold just got his territory though. Like Denmark was already claimed. Like they already ruled that, correct? Canute had to go get his. I'm going to really hope that his brother naturally got sick, and this wasn't a ploy. He's not going to get any better either. I mean, in those times, if you came down with anything, that was it. Honestly, in those times, if you lived to be their father's age, you were lucky. No heirs. Do you want this? Oh. I don't know what he wants. But everybody just heard that too, so if he dies in the middle of the night, like, father's face. What is going on? Now it makes me think he did poison his own brother. Yep. Golly, man. His own brother, though? Why? That's what I don't know what's happened to Canute, man. Yes, it could have been perfectly fine. Why did you have to take him out and rule that as well? I feel like he's fallen off the path a little bit. Something's happened to him, man, and I don't know what's going on. And the fact that, like, if you watch Game of Thrones and things like that, yeah, that crown will corrupt you. They always say that poison is a woman's drug. Because no man, if he had to take out an enemy or an opposing king, they wouldn't do it by poison. They would go take it face to face. And he's just like creeping around and poisoning people, doing this, doing that. It's just, how do you live with yourself, you know? I'd rather him walk in there, stab him, and kill him. At least look him in the eyes when you did it. He's just having other people just do it for him. I feel like that word's eventually going to get out too, by the way. I don't know. What's happened to Canute, man? I agree he did need a transformation, but we've just... This man's gone off the deeps. Off the deep end. I really wanted to believe that he didn't do it. I really wanted to believe. But he's starting to see the regret. Like, he can't run from it. All the evil he's done. So I had these questions about the brother and what happened to him. Succession battle and yada 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 blah blah blah. Got some good answers. And the thing is, like, if you accomplish the crown this way, can you even truly rest knowing how you got it? Some people, yeah. You're a piece of shit, yeah, yeah. I could handle that 100%. See how paranoid he is? He won't even take food and drink from his own sister. Mm-hmm. He can't live with himself. He's just gonna go around life paranoid as fuck. Especially because it was so easy for him to do it to others. Why couldn't it be done to him? He can't put his mind at rest. Yeah, you better be careful with speaking. So he's doing it for the greater good. I get it, but I feel like if there was a chance it could have been two people ruling, it could have been them. His brother might have just given it, by the way. Because I don't know the type of person his brother was. If he was to approach his brother and let him know what he's trying to accomplish, you never know. Now what? He enjoys their talks. Yep. I just think the way he's getting it, it's not going to end pretty for him. The way he's going about getting what he wants. He says he wants the utopia. He's going with the spoilers if you've never seen Naruto. He's going with the Madara approach of, I'm doing this for the greater good. So there's no more wars, no more killings, no more pain. But the way you're going about achieving it, I don't know if others would agree or like it. And can you live with yourself the way you're doing it? See him already starting to fault a little bit. And you know what's there's two things here. It's good and bad. It's good. He doesn't have anybody close that he's resides in. Because it could make him weak. They could try to talk him out of it. He could slip up and confess things. You know? But at the same time, it's bad because he's going to be isolated. The man might just lose it. You know, he's doing it for the utopia, trying to unite all of it, yada yada, blah blah blah. He might lose his mental along the way. End up just like his father. Like if he still had Ragnar close, he might still have that little bit to like keep his mind from just straight fracturing. But we'll see. We'll see if he gets there. Maybe that's where Torfin comes into play. I would say the way he speaks, he seems to be mentally strong enough for it. But the way he seems to be slowly losing it, might not be so, but he seems to be a little losing it mentally. See, it's a very interesting approach. I kind of like that. I feel like that was a good way to pace that, because I feel like we've kind of run the course on Einar and Torfin's current storyline. Of course, if outside factors come in and change things, of course, that could change. But I was curious, kind of, what are we really going to see on this farm? Are they going to go talk to the grandfather and maybe find out a little bit more information, or they're going to go talk to, what's the guy's name, Fox, Snake, or what? Maybe they're going to get wrapped up in that. I was curious what the next side quest was going to be. I like the bouncing back to Canute. So I've been asking this the entire season start, because I specifically remember, you know, his father essentially sending him out to these front lines in hopes that Canute would get killed. So he's not going to kill his own son, but if he happens to die in war, you know, what might happen there? Essentially because he had no interest in giving the succession line or the throne to Canute. And he didn't want there to be this giant succession battle should anything happen. So if I could just have Canute end up dying, Harold takes it, it'd be you know, nice and smooth. And I don't know if it was Canute that said it or if it was his father that said it, that his brother had a lot of support. You know, he'd been proven in battle, men liked him, they had no problem rallying around him, etc. So it was going to be super just easy transition, but you know, there might be some supporters out there, but so it would just be easy to just remove him out the way. So when the season just started and it was like, oh, all hail King Canute and shit, I'm like, well, what the hell happened to his brother? Like, did we just remove him? I thought the guy that they were talking about, what was that, when we first saw Canute, the one that like ran into exile and came back, I was like, oh, was that his brother? But no, two different names, that wasn't him, and you guys clarified that. So it looks like the area that his father ruled over was Denmark currently. He'd already had that unlocked. They ruled that whole area. His brother Harold became king of that after his passing. Canute is now also king, but he had to go conquer the rest of the territory that he now then calls himself king over. So now they essentially own two portions split down by water. One calls himself king of one side, one calls himself king of the other, and it seemed to be going fine. But Canute's like, no, I need all of it, which is a shit way. I hear what he's saying. It might get to a point where it just does boil over, where there just can't be two kings. Might be right, but and again, we never saw any of his brother's personality. We saw it in that flashback, but he's a kid. He wasn't even 16, 18 years old. His brother's like, what, 30, 40 now? His personality could have changed for the worse, personality could have changed for the better, so I could say you could approach him and see how that would go, but I can't say how it would go because I don't know anything about his brother. I have no idea how that would have gone, but I was really praying his brother just injured in battle and it got infected, caught a disease, what have you. He went and poisoned his own brother. We'll see. Like I said, he's going for the Madara, like, infinite Tsukuyomi, everyone will know pain type approach of like, I've got to do all this to get us to this, like, no more wars, no more slaves, no more killing. If he can keep this along the way, we'll see. Appreciate it, everybody. Share, subscribe as always.